and leave comments in the comment section. Okay, we got a lot of comments last time about the pronunciation of Namewee, and so last time I thought the pronunciation was Namewee or Namewee, but actually since found out that the pronunciation is Namewee, so I apologize for that confusion. Okay, today we are going to talk about a song by Namewee called The Wall. And the island of Kinmen is featured in this song. The island of Kinmen is, a very important place for Taiwan. It's basically Taiwan's early warning system if China were to attack. And Kinmen itself has been bombarded by China during the first and second Taiwan Strait crises in the 1950s. In fact, the fight between Taiwan and China at the time featured in the 1960 presidential debate between Richard Nixon and John F. Kennedy, and actually the topic of using nuclear weapons against China was discussed at the time. So yes, Kinmen has played an important role in Taiwan's history. So first we're going to play through the song, and then we're going to play through with commentary.
Who played the song?
Please feel free to leave comments during the song. Thank you.
Who accompanied the song?
Oh yes, I forgot to mention, Jason did the accompaniment on these songs, on this song.
3 different versions.
Right. So I think in one you played the piano, and the other you played the guitar.
Let's go through piano version first.
Okay. So here we go. We're playing The Wall by Namewee.
空气里一点一滴 我站在窗外等你，喜欢着你的回忆。我听见你的心跳，还有你的呼吸，一直在窗外等你。我渴望会有奇迹，空气里雨点里你或许不言开语的默契。我只能尽力相信，相信我们总会相遇，会在某年某月某一个转移。
Okay, so that's the song Namewee, the song The Wall by Namewee, and that was Jason playing accompaniment on piano. Alright, the next version will be Jason on the guitar. I'd like to say hello to Chris Ling and also to the other person that said hi. Thank you for watching Jason Adam TV. If you haven't, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and leave a comment. Okay, so the next version of The Wall is accompanied by Jason on guitar. This time I'm going to play through and comment on the lyrics of the song. And if you have any comments yourself, please feel free to leave them during the live stream. Okay, here we go. The Wall by Namewee. The Kapok Plain season set upon Taiwu Mountain. So I would guess a kapok is a plant. Is that right?
Yeah.
A plant. Okay. Okay, and Taiwu Mountain is in Kinmen?
Yes.
Okay.
Tourist spot.
It's a tourist spot in Kinmen. I haven't been there yet. I would like to go someday. Lion sculpture Glee Trembling Kachinate. And I have a feeling the lion sculpture is also a tourist attraction.
Actually, you can see the lion sculpture everywhere in Jinmen. The reason why they create so many sculptures of lion is that they used to worship the god of lion in order to prevent typhoon, because like a windy season, because Jinmen is such a windy island.
Right, it's in the Taiwan Strait.
So actually the lion god is a god of wind.
Okay. So I get it now. So the lion sculpture is like a god sculpture that's common in Kinmen. What is Kachinate?
A type of tree.
Oh, it's a type of tree. Okay. All right. Thank you for your comments. Feel free to leave more comments. Tribute candy sorghum and 4-season orchid. I know what sorghum is. My grandparents used to eat sorghum. So I
Oh, Kachinate, it means laughing.
Oh, Kachinate means laughing. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Laughing. I learned a new word.
I don't know why they use such a big word there.
It must have been a direct translation from some search engine. Okay, so tribute candy sorghum is probably a special candy that's made out of sorghum.
The peanut candy you ate before, called gong tang.
Oh, the peanut candy. Okay.
Gong tang.
Yeah. So I've had this candy before.
I buy it all the time from Beipu. It comes like in a box, and I like to eat with it contains peanut powders, and it's very messy when you eat it.
Yeah. Okay. 4-season orchid. So this is a type of orchid that's found on Kinmen. I would assume. I send you to the sea coast. Hiding in the corner, looking at you from a distance. So this song kind of starts out like a love song between two lovers that cannot get together, kind of like Romeo and Juliet.
You know, there's a metaphor.
Right. It's a metaphor for the relationship between China and Taiwan, and China and Hong Kong, Hong Kong and Taiwan, and the parts of China.
You know, it's only kilometer of the distance between Kinmen and China.
Right. It's within spitting distance, we would say in English. Kinmen is within spitting distance of China, and the lifestyle and the freedom in the two different places are night and day. Very different. So Kinmen is still part of Taiwan, and even though it has been through war against, the PLA against the ROC army in the 1950s, Kinmen still remains free. Your beauty is imprinted in my memories. So I think this is talking about, it could be talking about the beauty of both China and Kinmen, because both are beautiful places. The blue sky and green earth is my perch. Thank you, NGN OADS said, have a nice weekend. Thank you. I hope you have a nice weekend too. So Jason pointed out, I didn't catch this meaning at first, but Jason pointed out that the blue sky and green earth refers to the blue party, political party in Taiwan, which is the KMT, or Kuomintang, and the green refers to the Democratic Progressive Party, political party of Taiwan, or the DPP. And they're also referred to as the Green Party. So the blue sky and the green earth is my perch. If something is your perch, it's your home. So he's saying Taiwan is my home.
And it's the beacon of China. A beacon of freedom.
A beacon of freedom to China. And the scenery you fancy, or the scenery you like. Now the girl is singing. I think the girl is representing China. She's saying, my mom is very strict.
You know, Chinese people usually refer their communism party as mother.
Oh, okay. So like when they say the motherland, they're referring to China or the Chinese Communist Party. So the motherland is very strict. China is very strict. She shut me in a greenhouse, just like the fragile flower. So I think it's talking about how the
VPN and every
right, the Great Firewall of China, and how the Chinese people have had their wings clipped by the Communist Party. Their freedoms have been curtailed by the Communist Party, and they are behind a great firewall. So also their news is carefully curated by the Communist Party, and every news agency in China is authorized or under the auspices of the Chinese Communist Party. So they only really hear one side of the news, which is the side that the Communist Party wants them to hear. I want freedom, but I can do nothing. So this is talking about how the people of China would like to have more freedom, but they feel that resistance to the Communist Party is futile, and it's a sad thing, when the people of a country have reached the point to where they feel like there's nothing they can do to make things better, and they have resigned themselves to their fate. Okay, this is Taiwan speaking. I'll wait for you outside the wall.
You know how obvious that is.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. The metaphors in this song are really obvious, not hard to understand.
SZD, actually comment in English.
Actually, your computer, the battery died.
Okay.
I was reading comments on Jason's laptop, and I think the computer, either the battery died or went to sleep. The wall reminds me of the Berlin Wall. So, right after the end of World War II, the Cold War between the Soviet Union and the Western countries, like the other countries of Europe and the U.S., started, and the Soviets built a wall that divided the city of Berlin, and families were trapped. Some were trapped on one side of the wall, and they couldn't see their family members on the other side. And they had armed guards on the wall, ready to shoot anyone who tried to climb from East Germany, which was the communist side, into West Germany, which was the democratic side. So this lyric reminds me of the Berlin Wall, and I would really be happy if we could see the end of the wall that's been erected by the Chinese Communist Party, which isn't a physical wall, but is a virtual wall that divides the people living in China from the rest of the world. Okay, let's see. SZD says, it also represents the thoughts, the wall, not only in terms of the firewall, but also in terms of their mind. Well, I would argue that, that they have, to some extent, been brainwashed by the propaganda machine employed by the Communist Party. Lady Justice Fairness says, TCF. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not up to date on texting lingo. SED said, wall can also be physical, but it can also be mentally trapped. Yeah, and that goes back to the propaganda that I was talking about, that the Soviet Union used, the Nazi Party in Germany used it during World War II, and most authoritarian regimes have a propaganda machine of one sort or another that is under the direct control of the government. And that separates democratic countries from autocratic countries. In democratic countries, we have media that is not under the direct control of the government. I'm waiting for your reply. So, China is waiting for response from the Taiwanese people. I hear your breath and your heartbeat. I'll always wait for you outside the wall. So this shows the deep connection between, the people who are trapped behind the wall in Hong Kong and China with the people who are free in Taiwan. And they share a similar heritage. And it's that heritage that the Communist Party has tried to use against them, to say that the Chinese must be united under one government, and that the communist-ruled government is the only government strong enough to rule all Chinese people. I would argue that the Chinese people don't need to be combined under, one government. You will always have a similar heritage, just as the British and the Americans will always have a similar heritage, even though we have different governments. Okay, SZD said it means waiting for the reply from China, which means maybe the Chinese people will gain freedom one day after the liberation of China. Well, SZD, that would be my hope and dream, that change could come within, and that the people of China could somehow peacefully bring about that change without the loss of blood. That would be the ideal situation, and that is what I hope for. How I hope a miracle would appear. And yes, at the time it does appear that it would take a miracle to rid China of the Communist Party, and to rid them of the restrictions implemented by the Communist Party. It reminds me, someone who commented in the last live stream, they were talking about it's impossible to get rid of the Communist Party because a majority of people in China are members of the Communist Party. And I mentioned about how that it becomes necessary almost to become a member or become affiliated with the party in order to secure your livelihood, to secure your job, and earn a living for your family. And I would say that if the majority of Chinese people are members of the Communist Party, which I'm not sure of, I would say most are members by necessity, and that is they want to protect their families and their jobs. But it is kind of defeatist to say, I hope a miracle would appear. Hoping for divine intervention is not going to solve the issues at hand in China. Every molecule in the air is filled with our untold chemistry. So I think this refers to, the fact that together, free, the people of Hong Kong and the people of Taiwan and the people of China could do amazing things. They could revolutionize the world. It's not enough to have, a handful of countries that are free around the world. We need every country on earth to be free in order to realize the real potential of humans. Okay, Feng Meng said, China must be free from CCP criminals. History has shown that the CCP is an evil organization. So many people have died under the CCP. And I would agree with you there. Millions upon millions of people have died because of the CCP directly. And I would agree with you. SED said the majority of Chinese are not members. Majority of Chinese citizens are not members of the CCP. I wouldn't think so either. But if they were, I would understand that probably most of them would be lower level members trying to protect their jobs and their families. Okay.
的默契。
Hiding in the corner, looking at you from a distance. So again, this is repeating the words from before.
We pretty much cover the whole song, but we can just stop to the point that we don't. Let's go through.
Okay.
你的背影回荡在我记忆，爱恋和你也是我的气息，也是你向往的风景。
让我被塞进，慢慢会担心，有像万圣节的笑话，经不起风雨，纵然任性，却又无能为力。
我站在墙外等你，
期盼着你的回应。
我听见你的心跳，还有你的呼吸，一直在墙外等你。
我渴望会有奇迹，
空气里一点一滴都是无言可语的默契，是带你漫步天际。
自由翱翔在天空里。
Okay, I don't think this was in the earlier. I wish I could travel the world with you. So, in other words, he wishes that the people of China and Hong Kong had the freedom that the people in Taiwan do enjoy. SED commented that he thinks that there's a silent majority of people in China that that want to pursue freedom and are against the CCP. And I would agree, because the methods that the CCP has been using to crack down on COVID, and these are probably methods that they use to crack down on dissent also, are rather draconian. They lock people in their houses. They restrict movement of entire cities. Cordon off entire cities. And so I would agree with you that I think there are a majority of people in China want change. They don't want the CCP as the government. They want to be successful, but they don't want the CCP as their government.
Translate their Chinese comment
Okay.
in English.
All right. Are you translating now?
Yeah, I just use Google.
Okay, so Jason translated a comment. It says, the MV outside the wall is full of meaning in every scene. It is true only Taiwanese and mainland sober people can understand the deep meaning of the music video.
It's posted by Ling Ling.
Okay, thank you, Ling Ling. Yeah, I think it's hard for people who haven't had their freedom taken away to completely understand what it's like. I've been lucky enough to live in democratic countries my entire life. I grew up in America, and I came to Taiwan, which is was also democratic when I moved here. Taiwan wasn't always democratic. It became democratic in the 1990s.
Ling Ling also said Huang Mingzhi's fragile, which means glass art in Chinese. The envy outside the wall is the center of the real song to express.
Okay, so the fragile plus the music video outside the wall is the center of the real song.
The wall, right?
Okay. SED said some people have had their home and property forcefully demolished by the CCP, by the Chinese government. And yes, I've heard about that before. So it is, I'm sure there are many people in China that would like to change their government.
带你漫步天际。
wish I could travel the world with you and fly freely into the skyline. And yes, people that have freedom and have democracy, they truly want other people to be able to experience that. Regime change is not easy. I mean, you know, failures have happened over and over and over again. Take, for instance, most recently, Afghanistan. And there was a democratic government in Afghanistan, but it was so riddled with dishonesty and deceit that it failed within days after the U.S. Armed Forces pulled out. So yeah, it's very difficult to effect regime change, and I think that for long-term success, the regime change has to come from within the country. It has to come from the people themselves. An outsider can't come in. An outsider can't come in and change the regime for you. It will not last.
We can underestimate people's will, you know, and revolution will change everything.
Right. We shouldn't underestimate the will of the people, and hopefully the people one day will rise up and overthrow the Communist Party of China. That would be my hope and dream for the people of China, and also Hong Kong and Tibet and Xinjiang province, all those places that have been mercilessly restricted and abused by the Communist Party. Maybe we're separated because of fate. Well, I personally don't believe in fate. I believe you make your own fate, and you determine your own outcome. And again, this ties into what I was saying just before. Successful regime change doesn't happen from outside your country. It has to come from within. Yet we can't do anything to fight back. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. I think there are always things you can do to fight back, and there are peaceful things you can do to fight back. I know in China that might get you put in prison, but you know, democracy isn't free. I'm lucky enough to have inherited democracy, but you know, not that long ago, my ancestors, my grandparents, had to fight to secure freedom. They literally had to fight and risk their lives to secure freedom. So there's always something you can do to fight back. I'll wait for you outside the wall. I'm waiting for your reply. So again, as someone said earlier, I think they're referring to, you know, they're waiting for the reply of the Chinese people, the response to this long-term suppression by the Communist Party. I hear your breath and your heartbeat. I'll always wait for you outside the wall. So strong words expressing the hope that one day the citizens of China and Hong Kong and Tibet and these other regions will become free. Okay, so again, the song is a reminder of the sadness, I think, that people in Taiwan and people in free countries everywhere feel for the people in Hong Kong and in China and in these areas that are under the iron fist of the Communist Party. And the hope that we all have that one day every human being on earth can be free. Okay, your computer went to sleep and I woke it up and it's asking for a password again.
You have to find a way to take out the password. That's it. Okay.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to continue playing through. If you have any comments, please leave them.
我只能轻易相信。
I can only try my best to believe that we will meet once again. And I think this transcends not just Chinese people reuniting under a free government, but all human beings on earth having a free government. Okay, Tony Lai said, terminate the CCP, bring the good news to everyone. I would love to see the CCP terminated. That would be my greatest gift, my greatest present, if that could happen. Jason translated a comment from Chinese. It says, some people have sorted out the hidden meaning of many music video scenes under the music video outside the wall. Watching it a few times will give you a better experience. Thank you for the comment, and I agree. I haven't watched it that much. I played through one time before this live stream, and so watching it more often could help reveal the deeper meaning of the song. Agostino Ray said, hi anybody. Hello, Agostino. Your name, pardon me, sounds Spanish or Filipino, but thank you for watching. Jason Adam TV. Maybe in another time shift when era changes. And, you know, I'm about halfway through life. I would love to see this happen before I pass away. I would love to see at least the people of China and Hong Kong living under a free and democratic government. Tony Lai said, bullets cannot destroy an idea. The idea fights for freedom and democracy both inside and outside the wall. And I agree. Authoritarian regimes, though, will try to extinguish ideas. The Nazis burned books and art. You know, the China employs the Great Firewall to try to stop the free exchange of ideas, but ultimately they're not successful completely. And bullets cannot destroy an idea, and the idea of freedom is one that has lasted many millennia now, and it's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. And as humans become more well educated, they will understand why it is essential to the advancement of the human race for humans to be free. Okay, SED said, YouTube trending for Fragile song based on places. China ranked 9th in the trending place. Taiwan ranked the 1st. Hong Kong 2nd. Even China ranked 9th. So it still means that people, freedom-minded people or sober people, as SZD mentioned, exist in China. And I agree. I think there are many people in China who want freedom, and they want to abolish the CCP, but they don't dare say it while they live in China. Guda said, if USA can stand out, that will make a big difference, which leading freedom in the world. Yes, the U.S. has its own problems. It has problems with race issues. And sometimes I think those problems have always existed, but have been amplified by technology. I don't want to sweep this under the rug. I don't think we should sweep racism under the rug. I'm just saying I think that the detractors of democracy have to some extent tried to use the issue of racism to say that only an authoritarian government can put an end to issues like racism, which is a fallacy, because you see in Xinjiang province, the government is eradicating the people and the culture of the people who live, the citizens of Xinjiang province. So if they see a problem with racism, they stamp it out. That is not a solution. And so yes, I think there has been a social media campaign launched by Russia and China to try to criticize the U.S. for its issues, namely racism. But the argument that the CCP tries to make that they can successfully handle racism is false. They just try to kill minorities or force them to be re-educated. Hi, Joseph. CCP is China? No, I wouldn't say CCP is China. I would say that the CCP is the government that took over China, and that there are many people in China who still don't agree with the CCP. Jason translated a comment. The Epoch Times recommends several books. The title of the book is Devil Ruling Our World. It means the CCP is the ghost of the devil and has an English version. I would say I don't believe in the supernatural. I don't believe in ghosts and spirits. And the Epoch Times, while it is a pro-democratic source, it has some questionable articles about politics in other countries. And that's as much as I'll say about that. I don't want to get into an argument about the veracity of articles in the Epoch Times. I do support democracy and freedom, and I know that the Epoch Times is anti-CCP, virulently so. So I agree with them on that issue, but there are many other issues I don't agree with them on, which is what a democracy is about. We can disagree on many things, but one thing we need to agree on is freedom. Let's see. Someone says CCP equals despotism, and I completely agree with you. I think the CCP government is like a dictatorship, and Xi has basically named himself dictator. Okay, if you have any other comments, please leave them during the live stream, and I'll try to get back to you. I'm going to play
the guitar version, and read through the comments.
Yeah, I'm going to play through the guitar version of the song "The Wall" by Namewee while reading comments.
我未回归太不爽，我在呀笑哈哈。共同国粮四桂兰，我上日到海湾。
我躲在角落，远远望着你，你的美丽回荡在我记忆。蓝天和绿地是我的气息，也是你想我。
Okay, Jason wanted me to play through the guitar version. I played through the wrong one. I'm sorry. Let me rewind, get to the guitar version, and play through that. Okay, we have some posts.
No, just finish playing.
Okay.
Well, reveal. Oh.
却无法挣脱危机。我站在墙外等你，
喜欢着你的回忆。
我听见你的心跳，还有你的呼吸，一直在窗外等你。
还有奇迹，
空气里句点滴滴都是无言可语的默契。我只能轻易相信，
相信我们总会相遇。
会在某年某月某一个转移。
Okay, so we had several comments during the playthrough of the song. Let's see, Joseph Duran Sindra said that the Spanish president Sanchez is a despot. I'm sorry to say, Joseph, I don't know a whole lot about the Spanish government. I'll have to look into the Spanish government. Let's see, J.R. Shu said he likes the guitar version too. Thank you, JR. That was Jason playing the guitar on that version. SZD said, I'm a viewer from Malaysia. Really glad to see your channel. Thank you, SZD, and thank you for your comments. You've commented more than anyone so far, I think. Ben asked, are you guys in the USA? No, we're not. We're in Taiwan. And actually, I've lived here for about 20 years now. In Taiwan, spent the first 27 years in the United States. Jason is Taiwanese. Okay. Tony Lai said, "Music, guitar has the healing power." Yeah, I love music. I'm not good at playing it like Jason is, but I love listening to music, and I listen to it every day. And I also love guitar music. Okay. Agostino Ray said, Pompeo said right. Chinese people should be separate than to CCP. And Agostino is a follower from Portugal. Well, thank you for watching, Agostino.
Wow, Portuguese.
Yeah, Portugal.
It's far away from.
Yeah, in Europe. So thank you for watching, and thank you, DK Lim, for leaving a smiley face for us. Joseph Sindra said, haha, don't lose the time with the Spanish government. They are neo-communists. Okay, I won't waste my time on looking them up. SED said, Taiwan is an important strategic place, the first line of defense of democracy against totalitarian regime. If Taiwan falls, it will be a nightmare of the whole Asia. We would be the victim of CCP. I agree, it would be horrible for Taiwan to fall to the CCP. And it would really put Japan on edge, because they could very easily be next in line to be invaded by the CCP. Also, it would give China, a naval base, an important naval base, to direct the flow of shipping traffic in the South China Sea. William Hu said, Joseph, another Spanish Civil War should happen soon. I'm hoping that change can be done peacefully. I'm not always sure that that can happen. As definitely during World War II, it took a war to take down Hitler. Tony Lai said, I'm Canadian, 3:51 a.m. my time. Wow, you're burning the midnight oil, so to speak, Tony. It is just 7:52 p.m. here in Taiwan. Flying Zorro said, no, CCP is not China. It shouldn't own China, but it believes it has the right to own it, sadly. Yes, sadly, I think the KMT regime at the time of, that the Civil War began, and the Communist Party, they were both authoritarian governments. And Taiwan only recently gained its democracy. So, yes, I don't believe that the CCP should have the right to represent the people of China. It doesn't ask for their opinions. It doesn't accept their opinions. It mercilessly persecutes them for giving their opinions on things. So I don't think the CCP should represent China. Owen Ong HK said CCP equals critically controlled people. Yes, unfortunately, I think, the citizens of China are controlled by the Communist Party in what they say and do, and the information that they get.
Alright, let's go through the song last time, okay?
Okay, we're going to play through the song. Is this the version a cappella?
Piano version.
Piano version, okay. So we're going to play through the piano version that Jason recorded accompanying The Wall by Namewee. And while we're playing, you can leave any comments, and then we will wrap up after that. So thank you for watching Jason Adam TV. If you haven't, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and leave comments. Alright, here we go. We're going to play through the Wall by Namewee with Jason accompanying on piano.
我咪会开太不爽，我开呀笑哈哈，共藤多良四桂兰，我上日到海湾。
在我记忆，蓝天和绿地是我的气息，也是你向往的风景。
家门被锁紧，妈妈会担心，就像我是你的笑话，经不起风雨，纵然任性，却也无能为力。
我站在墙外等你，
期盼着你的回应。
听见你的心跳，还有你的呼吸，一直在墙外等你。
我渴望会有奇迹，
空气里一点一滴都是不言可喻的默契。角落，远远望着你，你的美丽回荡在我记忆。蓝天和绿地是我的气息，也是你向往的风景。
家门被锁紧，妈妈会担心，就像我是你的笑话，经不起风雨，纵然任性，却也无能为力。
我站在墙外等你。
期盼着你的回应，
我听见你的心跳，还有你的呼吸，一直在墙外等你。
我渴望会有奇迹，
空气里一点一滴都是不言可喻的默契。想要带你漫步天际，
自 想在天空里。
或许这是命运将我们隔离，却无法挣脱轨迹。我站在窗外等你，
喜欢着你的回忆。
我听见你的心跳，还有你的呼吸。你却在窗外等你，
我渴望会有奇迹。
空气里一点一滴，或许不言可语的默契。我只能尽力相信，
相信我们总会相遇，
会在某年某月某一个转移。
会离开不算，我太要求高山多样是归来，我尝试叫爱过。
Okay, we had several comments while we played the song The Wall. SCD said, to be honest, before the Hong Kong protest, he was not that interested in politics. It's the Hong Kongers that suddenly made him sober and woke him up. It's alarming that the CCP is a clear threat to us. He's talking about Malaysia. I think he's from Malaysia. And to the world. And I would agree. I think that the world does need to wake up to the threat that the CCP poses to the entire world. And, we need to divest ourselves of China as much as possible because we could be paying for our own demise by doing business with the CCP. Okay, Joseph Duran Sindra pointed out that William is not far away from him in Portugal. Okay, Flying Zorro said, just because you do not take an interest in politics doesn't mean politics won't take an interest in you. And that's a quote from Pericles. And thank you for that quote. That is very timely and very true. If you don't take an interest in politics, then politics will eventually take an interest in you. So I know a lot of people don't like politics, and I get tired of it from time to time. But it's a necessity to have your eyes and ears open to what's going on around you. Okay. Let's see. Teresa said, beautiful melody. Thank you, Teresa. Someone said, I'm here to say hi. Thank you. Wah said, who is playing the piano? That is Jason. The Jason in Jason Adam TV. I'm Adam. And he's the one that has musical talent. I don't. And thank you for your comment. Tony Lai said, thanks, Jason. Crew's in this channel and everywhere here listening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony, for listening. Agnes Young said, support democracy. I definitely support democracy, Agnes. And I believe that we should all do what we can to support democracy. And I'm hoping that, the democratic world will come together against the CCP, and the people within China will come together against the CCP. And eventually, hopefully someday soon, we'll see the demise, the downfall, the end of the CCP. Thank you for the thumbs up, Ping Ling Wan.
All right. Some people commented that kind of boring playing the same song over and over. All right. Open the folder. Okay, it's just down the bar.
Okay.
And we are going to comment or do a reaction to the song next week. All right, which is about Japan.
Okay.
We kind of postponed it though.
Oh yes, it was supposed to be this weekend.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do it next weekend. We had a comment. Dana Ho said, "Thank you, you guys. Great effort from Scotland." Thank you for watching, Dana. We appreciate it. J.R. Shu said, "As a foreigner, can you understand the metaphor of this song without translation? Just curious." J.R., I can get the main meaning of the song. It's hard for me to get every meaning of the song within the song without...
Your face instead.
Sorry. You told me to open the folder, and I'm very a literal person. Okay. So yes, I understand the basic gist of the song, but the deeper, more nuanced meanings without knowing Chinese is hard for me to get. But Jason can get the meanings. And I would like for Jason to comment sometimes. I think Jason would do a great job.
Alright, let's play the last song and we can say goodbye and wish them a good weekend.
Okay, so we're going to play through the song that I'm going to comment on next weekend. It's also a song by Namewee, and so we hope you enjoy it. Leave comments while we're playing the song.
You know which one?
Okay, we got some atmospheric music at the beginning of this.
Tokyo, konnichiwa, sumimasen, I foreigner. I don't speak Japanese, but I love Appa Isora. When you say wakarimashita, I say Hitachi, Toyota, Kawasaki, Nintendo, and also Nihon. I'm losing my way. Where should I go? Shinjuku so big. You speak Japanese. What can I do? Where should I go?
マクドナルド、グーグルトイレと、キットカット、ディズニーランド、タクシーのホテル、セブンイレブンミルク、バス、ビール、スターバックス。
Tokyo, konnichiwa, sumimasen, I foreigner. I don't speak Japanese, but I love ramen tempura. When you say arigato, konbawa, I say Suzuki, Yamaha, Uniqlo, Toshiba, Casio, Kochira. I'm losing my way. Where should I go? Shinjuku so big. You speak Japanese. What can I do? Where should I go? Please take me home.
マクドナルド、グーグルトイレと、キットカット、ディズニーランド、タクシーのホテル、セブンイレブンミルク、バス、ビール、スターバックス。ソーセージ、コーヒー、ケーキ、アイスクリーム、コンビニ、フライド、ポテト、エスカレーター、アルコール、バレーボール、ベースボール、バスケットボール、ゴルフ、マクドナルド、グーグルトイレと、キットカット、ディズニーランド、タクシーのホテル、セブンイレブンミルク、バス、ビール、スターバックス。
Okay, so we got some comments during the break. Thank you, Joseph, for inviting us to visit you in Spain. We'd really love to do that someday. And let's see. Adrian Wong, thank you for the thumbs up. Ethan E, thank you for saying hi. Let's see. Dana Host said, it's interesting to know the point of view from a foreigner. Thank you, Dana. I'm an American, not just a foreigner, so as an American point of view, but thank you. And I appreciate your comments, and I thank you for watching the channel. Okay, before we close, I'd like to make a couple of comments. And one of them is, democracies are difficult to maintain, and they hinge on everyone exercising their freedom to vote. So I truly believe that everyone who is legally allowed to vote should be encouraged to vote and should vote in a democracy. And another thing is, democracies are very diverse. I mean, in a democracy, you can't just stamp out a religion or a culture that you don't like. You have to learn to live with that culture, even if you don't agree with them. And that's a very important point to make. Sometimes it isn't easy, and democracies go through their own growing pains. But it is definitely worth it to advance freedom for all humankind. Okay, Joseph commented, since 150 years ago, every generation appears idiots that think that communism didn't work because they weren't there. Well, yeah, there's always someone that comes along and thinks that they have the master plan to save the world or for the best form of government, and they ultimately fail, and that is because no one has developed a government that is more effective and longer lasting than democracy. It hasn't happened yet, and I don't think it will happen in the future. So yes, democracy is not easy. You have to learn to get along with people that you don't agree with. Me, for instance, I'm not very religious. I get along with religious people. But I would say this, I don't think that we can pray away the CCP. I don't think God is going to step in and intervene and take them away. We need to take concrete steps in order to rid the Chinese and the world of the Communist Party. And one of those is, pointing out what they're doing, spreading the news. Okay, I'd like to thank you for watching Jason Adam TV, and thank you very much for your comments. If you haven't, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.